And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Transport Fever. Well, I think it's time for our first good to be produced and delivered. We are going to do construction material first, because I've been looking at my options here. And we have industrial right here that we can deliver to, and this covers quite a lot of that industrial. We have industrial down here that we can deliver to the majority of the hub city industrial. We have Eastish also covering a ton of industrial in here. And we have North. We can cover pretty much all the industrial up here. And North has actually grown pretty considerably. I mean, 300 is nothing to scoff at. Hub City, though, is still booming, 430 for Hub City. So if we build construction materials somewhere in this sector, we'll be able to deliver up to all three in the same direction. That's what I'm going for. Something efficient, because if we're going to be delivering, trying to max these productions out, it's going to be quite the chore to move all this material and get it to where it needs to go. So we want a setup that, you know, we're not concerned with making too much money. We're not concerned with anything but trying to shove as much material into these cities as possible. And by focusing my industrial delivery to one station, it will hopefully encourage industry to develop in that area and maybe weed out some of these residential areas. I also want to do a bus system in here, but that will probably come in a future episode. So first things first, let's get our construction materials plant. That's the first thing we want. So let's set this thing up and let's rotate it around to something sensible. I want it sort of like, where do we want it? Westy is going to be a tough delivery, but I think we'll be able to do it. And the reason I'm going to limit myself to 4 deliveries is, in all of my games, it seems that any given industry can deliver to 4 different lines effectively. Anything beyond that, and we might run into problems. Okay, we want a country road on this. Okay, so this is going to be my main delivery here. I'll need a little stub out this direction for another train line to go to Westy, and that one's going to be a pretty short line, but it should be plenty. And then we need, obviously, a quarry. There we go. And we're going to put this far enough away that multiple trains will be able to run on multiple lines. So we're going to set this up way out here and line it up pretty well there. Okay. So I want a little stub coming out of this so we can build a road. I do want to connect these two, cities. I don't want them just out in the middle of nowhere. People got to get to work. So I want a little bit of a road connection out there. We'll probably connect this one up to here. So we need a platform to deliver to. We need a platform to pick up from. We're going to be using so many trains that I think we're going to be pretty pressed for this. Okay, so we want first a freight station going this direction, and it's an open-ended one, so I'll be able to put the train depots on one side. That'll be handy. Not sure how I'm going to handle the ones going out, though. I'm going to do a different line with that. So there we go. We want 6 tracks on this baby. There's going to be a lot of stone being moved on this line. We want it to line up as best we can with the. Let's get a good shot going straight in, because we're going to be pushing so much material through here that we're going to want as efficient a system as possible. So if we go out this way, we're just going to try to line this up as best we can. This is going to be a terminal station. And we're going to spin her around and line this one up as best we can. There's going to be a little curvature, and that's fine. But we're going to try to line it up. We're going to do a little bit more that way. But make sure we're well covered on that. Okay. So that gives us the supply of stone. Now we're going to need a system to deliver. Now I'm thinking it's only going to be one track. It's going to be a double track up to the city, and then it's going to go one track into the city. That's pretty much how we've got to do it. It's going to be down here as a matter of fact. So one station is going to deliver to 3 different cities. And so we're going to have, I'm going to put 4 track on that one. And we're going to dial it up like this. So we're sort of pointing to hub, to east, and to north on this track here. So that will be, I'm gonna extend this out to 320. Not sure why I want to do that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna extend that out. I don't need the second, I don't know why I have a second connection on those. I don't need that. And then a last one for Westy, and that's gonna be just a smaller track going, trying to point as best we can into there. A little bit more like that. There we go. So that is 4 lines connecting to this. That should be plenty of throughput. And now we can use a track from here and drill it right in to the heart of this one. And it's going to be, I want to try to limit that curve as much as possible. So we're going to double these tracks up, definitely. But for now, I want to make sure we're using the right track. Now for this one, if we want to deliver fuel into this one as well, we could put a fuel setup close by, but we're going to want separate train lines for those, separate track, because of how congested the train lines are going to be. We're going to want to deliver those concurrently. So let me take out this line here and connect this one up over here. So it's kind of a squirrely route, but this outside one, that one can go up to north, so I'm not worried about that one. So that one there, we're going to double that up right away because the demand in the hub is already pretty high, so we'll probably want doubled right away. We're definitely going to want to split that off as close to there as we can. Oh, come on. There we go. Match it up. There we go. So there is another line there. Let's see. We're going to want some signals on there. Just so when we create the line, it will automatically make it separated. And go right into the right in as far in as we can. Okay, so that is the hub. Now let's create the lines for the stone supply. So I'm thinking in this setup here, we're going to want this outside one to go in first. just because this has got to be doubled up. And I have plenty of room. So the initially we're not gonna like overdo the number of trains on these, just because our demand is not high enough yet to really constitute, you know, 10 trains on this. So the next line obviously will be out this way with a doubled up track coming out like this. And we're going to want to make sure we've got plenty of space in here for multiple tracks. But for now, we don't need that much throughput because the industries are going to take a while to upgrade themselves. So until our industries grow and our cities grow, we don't have a whole lot of need for a massive number of trains or tracks. So I'm going to split this off this way, and this will be my hub, my depot for that one line. Again, we're going to use the same line for stone, but we're going to separate out our tracks, so that way the stone mine will only dump stone for one line, and that will improve efficiency quite a bit. Okay, now running. What is Westy's demand right now? 389. We really don't need to run multiple trains on that, but I do want to double that lineup anyway, because it's probably gonna be doubled up eventually. Better do it now while the city is small and I don't have to destroy a whole lot of buildings to do it. So we're going to stretch that out. Build that up. And we don't need very many signals on this. I'm guessing this line is only going to have probably 2 trains at most eventually. Maybe 3. It's hard to say how many trains this is going to need, because the city is pretty close to our supply. We are going to need a depot on my hub, so I'm going to pull this out and add a depot to this one. So let's get the process started so our industry can start to grow. So having these 2 cities, it's going to combine the 390 on this one and the 440 on this one. And that will be the demand that this sees. Now, it'll be a little bit different because we have, you know, miscellaneous industrial buildings that aren't connected to this line itself. So it'll be a little bit different, but we should see some growth. We should see some reaction. So let's get the stone going. And for stone, I usually do like a gray. So we're going to go from here to here. And this is going to be South Stone. So that is a nice line. It's kind of visible with the gray. It's kind of hard to see. But South Stone will be good. So now we do a new line. And this is usually the color I use for construction material is orange. So we're going to do an orange line into Westy. So this will be Westy construction mats. Okay, and we're going to do one more new line, and this is also going to be orange because they're going to 2 different cities, so it shouldn't be too hard to spot. This is going to be, oh, let it save. It's going to be hub construction mats. Looks like we got the dual socks train. That one might be a fun one to upgrade. I don't think I've ever built that one yet. That one might be a fun one. So let's now, I don't have a depot on this line. So let's go ahead and throw one in really quick. And depot. There we go. Okay, so I like to do the delivery first and then the supply. That way this thing gets updated as soon as humanly possible. So the trains we're going to run, these are going to be orange. We're going to use the Class 103. It's a very nice, hefty, powerful train. So we're going to use the gondolas. And again, the gondolas that I added in a mod are going to be unlocked in the year 2000. So we've got a little bit of time. Oh no, these are not gondolas. These are state cars that we need for the end construction materials. So yeah, the heavy hauling mod that I made, well, those won't unlock until the year 2000. So we've got a little bit of time. So let's set up this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a big train. So that's 216 supply. It's going to be able to run this probably twice a year at least. So that's a 432 delivery, and we don't need all that much. So we're just going to run one train for now and see if that is good. So not Westy, I want hub construction material. And now we're going to do the other one for Westy. So the same engine and the same state car set to construction material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the Westy construction material. So now with those lines set up and populated, we should see a little demand. It looks like it didn't update for June, but it should update for July. So we're going to set up another train. This one's going to be the gray, and we're going to do class 103, and this is going to be the gondolas for stone. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to double this one. 44.8 million. And this is going to be South Stone. And the reason I'm doubling it is I want this thing to be able to move as much as possible. So I want that line frequency down as far as possible so the game knows that this is a good line to use. And now that we're into the new month, this should have updated. Yeah, 692 is now the desired amount of stone that we're going to want, or at least, you know, the demand for the construction materials. So hopefully this will update the line for my stone supply. So 692 is not enough to get us over the 800 limit. So let's add some more cities here. We can go eastish, which covers quite a lot of industry, and this has a 444 amount, which is, if I remember right, more than my hub. Oh, it's on par. So this city is actually doing really well for itself. 1704. Look at that, 60. It's actually a little bigger in commercial and industrial than my hub. My hub has more people, so that's good. But now that the hub is going to be getting delivered some construction materials, we should see that reaction. So now we've actually got some delivery. If we look at the demand, 231, that's a pretty standard number. I see that a lot, the 231. It's almost like it demands that when it just by default. So is this going to deliver any stone? It is. Let's see who gets the first construction material. It looks like the hub is going to be the first. It's going to be the winner of that little race there. All right. So in the next episode, we will tackle both the north delivery, which, you know, it's not going to be a lot, but still it's going to add up. And also eastish, which, as we said, is going to be a lot of demand for that. So that'll be really nice. But anyway, that'll do it for this episode. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.